Something funny. Relativity! Hello there, welcome to Relativity. How are we all doing out there? Let's change the title of the stream to say Relativity as well, because why the heck not? There you go. It's all Relativity now. It's all relative. How are we doing out there? Oh yeah, you're right. The wheel is looking a bit pale because I've turned it away. Yeah, I turn it away when I'm at work and I need to put webcam on because I mean you don't need that distracting you basically at work. But it is there. Don't worry. I just forgot to turn it around because today's been a day. I'm still feeling good actually after the jab and that, but today has definitely been a day. So welcome to Relativity. I really didn't know what I was going to be doing until like 10 minutes before stream started. Then I thought about it. I was like, well, 3 people have been very kind very recently to throw me some Relativity packs. I think we'll have enough time to do 2 of them this evening. Maybe all 3. I don't know. I don't know if I want to burn all of them up in one go though. That's all. So there are some games we could certainly play this evening, and yeah, we'll have some fun with this. It's an original idea of mine, all based around estimations, guesstimations, and holding your nerve in the vacuum of space. In space, no one can hear you wheel. What? That? Yes, of course they can hear you wheel. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Shadowmane. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard look when you can't get into to watch a thing being recorded. I mean, I've struggled to get tickets in the past for things in the first place. So getting a sort of ticket and then not being able to get in. I mean, it's doubly difficult during this time because of restrictions on audience numbers and things like that. So I guess now we sort of learn the lesson to get there earlier, to get in the queue earlier, to avoid being turned away if you're too far behind. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't really do much about that. It is what it is. But yeah, we'll cheer up your spirits with some Relativity this evening. And I mean, you've all really cheered my spirits up with all those gifted subs and bits before we've even started. Speaking of which, we've got Matt the Ref gifting out a sub to Sam is Acidic and also to the legend that is Kirbychew. Come on, play the sound. Okay, apparently he's not going to play the sound. All right. But Sam is Acidic and the legend of Kirbychew. Additionally to that, let's wind the clock back to the beginning of the hype train. We've got Grunkle Squeaky with 23 months. We're almost there. We're almost at 2 years of resubbing there from Grunkle. That is amazing. Thank you very much for that. 28 months resub from Clive. Imagine if Danny Boyle had made 28 months later instead. You'd be underwhelmed, surely. Possibly. Thank you for the 28-month resub there, Clive. A 10-month resub from Hodders. Double digits ahoy. Thank you for the double digitiness. Westernator jumping in while I'm reading all this, gifting a subs there to Cartquiz Woke Quiz. That's amazing support as well. Cartquiz, welcome to the family of the Brassers. What do we even call us? Trombones Bashers. That's the word. Bashers is what the word I'm looking for. 100 bits from Jockey Chum. Ganymede, indeed. I don't know if we'll see Ganymede fly by in a moment, but yeah, it's out there somewhere in space. Thank you for the 100 bits. Connor gifting, no, not gifting, just subscribing at 28 month at tier 2. Yeah, when did that happen? Well, it happened just then, apparently, Connor. That is just ridiculous. 28 months, like Clive had done just then. Arden Fett's 10 month with a resub hype, also in double digits. Look like with 100 bits. Colo with the 2 cans of 7-Up. Unfortunately, I don't have the joke that to hand that Dan Peak does with 7-Up and 7 Down. But then again, we're not doing crosswords. But thank you for the 14 and 3 sub. Brandy Holo with 200 bits. Thank you. Kerbichu with 35 bits. Thank you. Connor gifting out 5 sub gifts there. I don't know where the names are for that, but 5 gifted subs there from Connor is amazing. Thank you very much for that. Jack Wolf with 100 bits. Toad Boy with the very funny Ash. Yeah, I thought it was very funny just jumping in there on Jack's little bittage. Hi. Woo, indeed. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Matt. It is Relativity Love in Space with your Galactic Command. Ooh, I don't know about that. Galactic Commander. That's a bit too grandiose a title for me, I think. I need a better title than that, probably, or a worse title. I don't know, but Galactic Commander just doesn't. No, doesn't quite work for me yet. Space Smeghead. There you go. That's perfect. Space Smeghead. Yes. No, he does mean Tioli, as in take it or leave it. He was talking about that at poker yesterday. So yeah, take it or leave it is a thing being worked on. Space Commander, non-sus captain. As long as I'm non-sus, that's all fine. Do I even have that sound still on here? No, not on here. I don't have that particular sound. I thought I did. I thought I did. No, I don't have it. I just don't have it. And I just broke my system as well. There we go. I'm back. I thought I had that sound on here, but apparently I don't. Somewhere. It's somewhere. Oh, there it is. It is there. I just highlighted it in yellow for some reason. I don't know why. It should be a red button rather than a yellow button, but it's there. Anyway. I've got buttons and things. Yeah, soundboard testing, exactly that. I was reading through some of the donations and things, wasn't I? Yes. Yeah, Toad Boy with a very funny Ash, Shadow Man with 100 bits, Matt the Ref with the 2 gifted subs, Western Data with the gifted sub, Joggington with 100, Matt the Ref with the 100. Now all caught up. Not all clued up, no, all caught up. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this. As I say, this is my own game based on guesstimations and estimations and things. It should be fairly easy to see how it all works. Basically, you score well so long as you perform relatively better than your competitors. It is really as simple as that. Do bear in mind, though, you will need to get your Whisper window open to Quizbot 3000 when answering in this game. Although entering the lobby, you can enter it in public chat. There's no problem with that. So yeah, I've got three people have very graciously sent me some relativity packs. They are Oni, David, and Pop Rum Comedy. I have looked through all 3 of them at a very brief glance. And I think I've prepared Oni's and David's in CSV format, so they should be ready to go. If we do have time at the end, maybe we can do Pop Rum Comedy's one as well, although I'm aware of the fact that would be all of my remaining relativity packs done, and I'll have none in the bank again. Because I'm just in a weird situation that not many... I don't have many games to play that have the pack formation like this, or they're in like the 1 versus 100 style where it's just a pool of questions that it picks from. Duel is supposed to alleviate my problem here by basically doing only one of these kind of games a week alongside Duel, which then burns the other questions. So not having Duel at the beginning of season 7 has kind of messed all of the scheduling up, and I'm kind of sort of frantically trying to figure out what to do to fill in the gaps until we can start doing Duel for all. At some point it will happen. Certainly at some point it will happen, but things still need to happen before we get there. Scheduling. Yes, indeed, Matt. Scheduling. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with Oni's pack. Thank you very much, Oni, for this pack. and it is, as David says, there is only 21 questions for the entire game, which is quite nice, actually. You just have to have quite interesting topics to talk about for your questions. And yeah, right, let's get the lobby open, I suppose. So if you want to play this game, PXBJ. It's like peanut butter and jelly, but it's extra. And as we are playing in space, you will commandeer a spacecraft of your very own here. There are various designs and various colours that they can appear in. Yeah, I'm feeling good myself, Ali. Not really felt any other effects of the jab, so I guess I'm getting no real side effects at this point, because we're now 2 days after the jab and nothing to report. Maybe the second jab, when that comes later in the year, will hit me a bit harder, but hey, it's a jab. It affects some people. It doesn't affect some people. It's just one of those things. The human body and immune response is a wonderful thing. It could be that I've already built up an immune response in the past that I didn't know about. Who knows? Just things and stuff like that. Peanut, xanthan, butter and jelly. I mean, xanthan is one of those common ingredients. At least certainly in the... no. Xanthan? No, that's not right. Hang on. What am I thinking of? There's lots of scientific words you see in the ingredients list over in the States for their foodstuffs. It is xanthan gum, but what is xanthan gum again? It is a food additive that is a thickener or stabilizer. So it could actually be in there potentially. I was remembering xanthan gum, a polysaccharide. Well, there you go. More you know. Xanax? No, not Xanax. Or maybe they give you the placebo. Maybe the placebo. It could be that, I suppose. Who knows? Raised the prize also the vaccine trial. So I had the jab way back last June. Didn't have any reaction at all, so I thought I'd been given placebo. Fair enough. Well, it could be you could have been given placebo, maybe not. Who knows? Whatever. I don't mind so long as I am contributing my my cause for the better for the wider community at large. It's not necessarily for my own benefit, although it's nice if it is, but for the benefit of everyone else as well that I'm getting immunised. And I'm safe, indeed. Do you feel better after your jab? I mean, I've not felt any different before or after Westernator. It's been pretty much a constant. The ache in my arm has gone. That was a thing that was there after the jab, but that's expected. Everything else, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong at all. Lots of names up here, which is what we like to see. And I wonder how many of you out there are new to this game, because it's quite an interesting game. But it's very easy to pick up and play. The first 3 rounds is where you're going to be scoring points, and the top 6 at the end of round number 3 will then move on to the final, where we start whittling you down one by one until only one remains, and you will be our special relativity specialist. Relativity specialist? I don't know. There's a specific term I need to put in there. Our special relativitist. Then we'll go with that. You've seen it, but you're bad at it. Well, depends on the kind of questions that will come up, MPL Dart, I'm sure. Even if you're lurking in chat and you're interested in this, you can just put in the room code and just play along in whispers and just see how far you go. Or you can just watch along. Entirely up to you. I do not mind people lurking around and watching along. Specialtivity. Yeah, something like that. Fair enough, Proogs. Hope you're having fun this evening, whatever it is you're going to be doing. And yeah, we'll catch you later at some point, I'm sure. Right, are we going to get this space voyage on its way? Are we going to be going to hyperspace shortly? I think we are. 30 seconds then to make your mind up. I'm actually going to quickly check to see the ooh. That didn't work. Well then, why did that not work? Ooh. Well, at least I could debug this. It didn't load the pack correctly. Why did it not load the pack correctly? That's interesting, isn't it? I can at least look at the questions before we go into it to figure out what's going on and why it didn't load them in. I might even be able to edit them in place and copy paste them in, but then we've got human error to worry about there. It just didn't load anything. Wow. Why didn't it load anything? I'm guessing there's a fault. There's a fault in our stars. There's a fault in my code. It didn't try catch. It just failed. Huh. Well, that's fun, isn't it? Unless game hasn't been activated, but it has. Only relativity. That is the... Yeah. Is that? Yes. Huh. If game data file is not null. Yeah. What can I do? Because that's not set at the finalist count either, which is a worry. Did it not do all the rounds or any of the rounds? It's not done any of the rounds. That's very strange. Huh. Wow, that's news to me. Why has that failed? Right. I guess what that means then is that's on awake. That's not going to re-trigger. And I can't. Can I invoke it? No, I can't directly invoke it. I mean, it might be able to do with the immediate window. Where are we in the sequence? Let's go to the lobby sequence. I might be able to intercept this and figure out what's going on. Wait for continue. So there. All right, we're going to try sending us through to hyperspace, and I'm going to intercept the call to figure out what's going on. Because this is a bit strange. Do I have access to game? I do from game sequencing, so yes, I should have access to game. Right, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Something might happen, something might not. I don't know. So, immediate window. Game dot awake. Field with name second statement does not exist. You can ignore missing fields by setting the missing field found to null. Well, there you go. And it did throw an exception. It just didn't handle it. So that is going to have to stop there because I need to fix the code. Oh dear. Right. So it said that that was not a thing. Sorry about this, but given that I was sort of firing this off at the last moment, I'm not surprised that there's something going on here. That needs to say correct statement instead. If string is null or empty, correct statement. Yeah, that's the one it should read as. Then it does that. Right, okay, I think I've made... That's where the mistake was introduced, because I changed the CSV format because we're sort of removing the old version of social relativity. That's what happened. Hey, there we go. There's more questions coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's actually come through this time. Yay! We actually have some questions. Does mean also we're going to play the intro again because intro's for free. So have fun. we got it to still trigger that on the change of transition of changing the scene. Anyway, we'll open up a new lobby. KKHB. I do apologise for that faulty start to hyperspace. We all exploded on that previous game. I'd broken the loading code and did not check it before stream started. But like I said, I didn't really know if I was going to be doing this until like 10 minutes beforehand. So yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? Need a new warp drive, absolutely. So do enter in with this lobby if you would like to play KKHB, and we'll actually get this game underway. Again, thank you, Oni, for this pack we're going to be playing, aka Alex, and hopefully we will be on our way this time. Not going to give you too long. No Jogging Chum. Right, countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's launch to hyperdrive. Launch to hyperdrive, going into hyperspace. That's what I meant to say. I'm really not on it today. Very surprised, just getting in there in time, but they're going to be left on screen. Round number 1 is general relativity. So you're going to see a statement about a number appearing on screen and in chat. You have to determine if that statement is correct or not. If you think it's correct, you need to say equal. If you think it's lower, you need to say it's lower. If you think it's higher, then you need to say higher. It's very simple. Everything you need to answer in whisper form, please, to Quizbot 3000. Otherwise, your answer may not be accepted and it may still be charged. So you'll see a statement. They'll have a numeric statement in there. You have to determine if it's correct. If you think so, say equal or E or the equal sign, something along those lines. If you think the value should be lower, then you say lower or L or the less than symbol. And if you think the value should be higher, then you say higher or H or G or the greater than symbol. As long as you say one of those things in time, they'll be accepted. You will see your name pop up at the top of the screen if your answer does come through correctly. A bit like that, Ali, except there is also an equal in there as well if you think the answer is absolutely on the nose. And if you're correct, you get yourself 500 points. It's as simple as that. So if you're all ready, good luck. Let's open up. Thank you for the follow there, Briss Time. Greatly appreciated. If you're ready, here comes your first statement. In football's English Premier League, a team that completes a season with a 100% win record would score 114 points. Do you think that is lower, equal, or higher? And yes, whisper to Quizbot 3000, not Persephone. So there's all of the possible commands you can send to Quizbot 3000 enumerated for you for your information. Let's see where you played. Okay, 10 believe lower than 114. 19 believe that is on the money. And 22 believe more than 114. I can tell you the correct answer should be 114. It is equal. So if you are of the 19 that gave me the correct answer, then you're going to score yourself 500 points. 37.25% of those that answered did answer correctly, getting themselves points. And it's as simple as that in this round. Just give me which option is correct and you get points. And if you don't know the answer, you might as well guess because it's a 1 in 3. Going on to question number 2. Statement number 2 is the following. The winning song of the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest, Ziti e Buoni, has a tempo of 114 BPM. Lower, equal, or higher? Give me a guess. Still worth a guess, even if you have no idea. That's the whole point of this game. Is questions that you probably have absolutely no idea on, but you still have to give me some guess of an answer, and might work. Let's find out. Where did you answer? Only 3 believing it is exactly 114. 20 believe it is slower than 114. And 28 believe it is higher than 114 BPM. Well, I can tell you that the correct answer is lower at 103 BPM. From 114 down to 103 is the correct answer we're looking for. Yes, slower is what we're looking for. 20 giving you the correct answer there. Nearly 40% of our audience. And you're getting yourself some points. 500 to be exact. Now we move on to statement number 3, which is the following. Theodore Roosevelt is the youngest ever US president, taking office at the age of 39. Lower, equal, or higher than 39? Very surprised getting an answer in just in time there. We do have a grace period of about 2 seconds after the lock-in, but don't try and game that too much, I would say, just because it's accounting for Twitch lag and IRC lag, things like that. So don't try and game it too much. Let's see where you played. Okay, 10 believe that Theodore took the office at an age lower than 39, so younger than 39. 7 believe that is the correct statement. 34 believe that Theodore took the office at an age older than 39. The answer we're looking for really is 42. So yes, older by 3 years. 34 giving me the right answer there. 2/3 of the playing audience, in fact. And all you're getting yourself 500 points for that correct answer. Gruggle CQ saying, thank God I learned that minimum age for presidency is 40. Apparently now there's some people saying it's 35. Well, either way, people, maybe it was 40 and now it's changed to 35. Either way, the answer we're looking for on that one was 42 and higher. That's halfway through this round. Another 3 questions, 3 statements to go through before we see the leaderboard for the first time. There's still plenty of game to go. So, statement number 4 to consider is... everyone's favourite Napoleonic fortress and TV studio, Fort Boyard, is 98 metres long. Lower, equal, or higher? You've seen them all running around. What do you think? Lower, equal, or higher? Masters, unfortunately, that was been accepted out of range, and also please whisper rather than use public chat if you can, please. Let's see where you played. Okay, 12 believe that Fort Boyard on its longest edge, obviously, because it's got a minor and a major axis. We're looking at the major axis here. 12 believe that it's shorter than 98 metres. 17 believe it is exactly 98 metres. And 21 believe it is longer than 98 metres. Scorecat says, I'm going to get this one wrong and I'm going to be embarrassed. Well, let's find out. What's the correct statement? It is shorter. It's 68 metres. Shorter by 30 whole metres. 68 metres was the full length on the major axis of Fort Boyard. So the 12 that gave me that answer, congratulations, you get yourself 500 points. It sounds short, but then you think, like, you know, the major length of a 100-metre circuit, you know, is 100 and a bit metres maybe. I don't know, but I guess the camera distorts the sort of the scale of the fort and TV magic, that kind of thing. But the answer we had on the card here, 68 metres. DJ's a 0 out of 4. Let's go. Well, don't worry, DJ. Once we're through this round, it should be easier to gain some points in round number 2 and 3. All right, we move on to question statement number 5 in this round, the penultimate one in general relativity, and it is the following. The lunar sea of Mare Nectaris has a diameter of 210 miles. Lower, equal, or higher? Okay, let's see where you answered. Yes, as Scorecount says, it only accepts your first valid answer to me, so you can't correct your statement after the fact. 7 believe it is smaller than 210 miles in diameter. 18 believe it is longer than 210 miles. But 26 believe that is the factoid. Absolutely on the money. 50% of our audience seem pretty sure then. Is it on the money? Is it 210 miles? It is indeed. Very well played to the 50.98% of you getting that one right. 26 people getting yourselves 500 points for knowing that. And we go to our final statement in this round. Last chance to get some easy 500 points. And your last statement to consider is... In the Pokemon game series, and on average, you will see a shiny Pokemon once in every 10,240 encounters. Lower, equal, or higher? Now, this is a video game question indeed. Let's find out where you played. Okay, only 3 believe that is exactly on the money. 17 believe a shiny occurs in once in every more than 10,000, so in a lower probability, less likelihood of 10,240 encounters, and 31 believe it's lower than 10,240. Now, I know the reason why Oni has gone here with 10,240 is they've gone for a power of 2, 1024 times 10. And a lot of what Pokemon does in its calculation, certainly what it used to do in the Game Boy era, I don't know if they still continue to do so in the modern era, is they use byte values for everything. So you've got always in the range of 0 to 256 for things, and you multiply them and divide them and things like that. But it's always still working in powers of 2. 10,240 isn't really a power of 2 because you're multiplying that by 10. So are we looking for a power of 2 that's greater than 10,240 or less than 10,240? Less than 8,192, another power of 2 up there. I think it is. It certainly seems to ring a bell. Yeah, it is 1 power of 2 short of a short, which is 16,384. So yes, it is indeed. 8,192 is what it currently is. On average, that is when you'll see a shiny Pokemon. And 31 give me the right answer there. 60.78% of the playing audience. Get yourself 500 points for that. And at the end of round number 1, let's see where you all are. Ben's J, Silent Marine, MPL Dart, Hawthorne Bunny yet to get off the mark, but plenty of game yet to catch up. Oh, hey, our only player of the audience that got a 6 out of 6 on that round. Currently in the lead on 3,000. Riff Raccoon, Ali, Spokes, and Race to the Prize got themselves 5 out of 6 on that round on 2,500. But there is still all to play for, another 2 rounds to play through. Let's close that leaderboard off, and let's go to round number 2, which is Ranged Relativity. So now you need to give me some numbers. You will see a question that will appear on screen and in chat, and the answer will be an integer value. When the timer starts, give me a response, or give Quizbot a response as a valid integer number. Points are given based on your relative distance to the correct answer versus everybody else. So the closer you are to the correct answer in comparison to everybody else, the more points you will get. And if you are the furthest away, then you will score nothing. So it's up to 1,000 points you can gain on each correct answer here. If you're absolutely on the money, then you're going to guarantee yourself the 1,000. But you might get yourself pretty close to the answer and still get a decent score based off of that. So you'll see how it all works in a moment if you're not familiar with this. But yeah, the closer you are to the correct answer versus everybody else, then the more points you get. It's as simple as that. And you can answer with an integer, which I think should now be able to support commas or spaces or radix points, but uses 1,000 separators. So if you want 1,000 separate your answer, it should now accept it as such. So it's easier for you to understand like 100,000s, millions, billions, things like that, because this game can potentially accept answers in that range. So do bear in mind that you should be able to now use comma separated to work that out if it makes it easier for you to understand bigger numbers. But of course, it'll also accept it without them as well, like it used to before. Right. Are we all ready to play? I think we are. Good luck. Let's go to our first range relativity question. According to the UK website, how many calories are there in a McDonald's 20 McNugget share box? Answer somewhere between 500 and 2,500. Start answering now. So the answer is guaranteed to be somewhere in that range, 500 to 2,500. Give me an answer somewhere in there. I mean, they say it's a share box, but who's sharing, really? Right. Let's put you on the scale, see where all your answers are. Quite a wide range of answers. We've got answers all the way as low as 720 from Sparrow Castle, and all the way as high as 2,200 from Hawthorne Bunny. At least everyone that did answer within the range, so we're not going to be discounting because of that. Now, let's find out. What's the correct answer we're looking for here? According to the UK website, how many calories are there in a McDonald's 20 McNugget share box? The answer we're looking for is a lot lower than a lot of people were thinking. 863 was what we're looking for. Masters, the closest there, only off by 3. Getting themselves basically 1,000 points, just shy by 2 points there. Hey was second closest, getting 990, and Cart Quiz were third closest with 987 points there. And there are all your relative points going down there to Clive, still scoring 67 with that guess. And Hawthorne Bunny, unfortunately, you were the furthest away, so you're going to be scoring 0 on that guess. But now you know how it all works. That is how this scoring works. The further you are relative to everyone else, the less you'll get, and the closest you are relative to everyone else, the more you'll get. So yeah, a lot of people going with quite a large value guess there, but only 863 is what we're looking for. Right, next question coming up then, and get your digits out because this is a doozy. The world's busiest airport, Dubai International Airport, had a footfall of how many total passengers in 2019? Answer somewhere between 10 million and 100 million. And who were they? Let's get the full manifest list out. Yes, indeed. No, we're not going to do that. Right, let's see how... Where did you answer? Where are you answering in range to start with? Because these are big numbers to consider. Yeah, unfortunately, we've already got some numbers out of range. Effrontery answering too low there with 7.5 million. That will be an invalid answer. Riff Raccoon, you went off the scale the other way with 400 million. That's too large an answer, so that will also be discounted as an answer. So yeah, bear in mind the range of answers that come up. Maybe you want to go for 40 million in the end, but you added an extra 0 there, so it's accepted it as 400 million. We've got a lot of 69696969 going on in chat here, and some 66666666. There seems to be some clumping, certainly around the 60 million bracket. Let's find out. What's the answer we're looking for? 86,328,896 is what we're looking for. Samster and Westernator were equally the closest there with a guess of 85 million. And they're getting themselves 981 points apiece for their guess. Score count was next closest, getting 962. And then Shapes was next closest again, getting 886. Super Pat, you were the furthest away within range, so unfortunately scoring 0 for that. And Effrontery Riff Raccoon, as mentioned earlier, you were answering out of range, so got denied points for that reason. No, I do not have the figure for 2020, I don't think. I will have a quick look. No, does not have the figures here for the 2020, I'm afraid. But that's what we're looking for there for the 2019. Right, 2 down, 3 more to go in this round. And we've gone from massive numbers down to reasonable value numbers here, I think, for question number 3. For how many days was Tony Blair Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Answer somewhere between 365 and 10,000. For how many days was Tony Blair Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Hawthorne Billy just getting an answer in time there. Let's see where you answered on the scale. Okay, quite low, quite a low skew here. Ben Stay with the lowest guess with 734. Highest guess we've got is Sparrow Castle with 8,225. There seems to be a lot of people hovering around 3,650. I guess going for 1 year being 365 and multiply that by 10 years to get you a nice ballpark figure. Maybe that will work out for them. Let's find out. What's the correct answer? $3,708. I think those that did the simple maths of 10 years times 365 got the closest there. Yeah, pretty much. Jack Wilford got a better guess, though. 994 points. Riff Raccoon and Big Man Aaron, 991, and Claire, 989. I can tell you that the Premiership lasted from the 2nd of May 1997 through to the 27th of June of 2007. So yes, 10 years, but you also need to add in an extra month and a bit of days added to that as well. But you see, that's where some good logic can help you get you a better guesstimation answer if you knew that he had a 10-year tenure as the Prime Minister of the UK. Let's close that off, and I can feel a draft because Whiskers is here. I can feel a draft because the door is opened. Because Whiskers is here, aren't you, hey? Indeed. We're having a quick cat break because why not? Cats in space. Cats in space. Hey, are you okay? Oh, no. No, okay. Yeah, I know, Whiskers. You'll get attention later, okay? Hello there, Ben. I hope you are doing well out there with your family and all. And hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well out there. And Whiskers, indeed, Whiskers over here as well is giving you the best regards as well. I've just got back home. Okay, fair enough. Well, relax is what I would say for the rest of this evening. Ben is just have a nice relaxing evening and sort of chill out. And I will do, Ben. I will do the next time I pass by. Oh, it's very weird that I'm not going to mention any more, but it's very weird. Anyway, 5 bloody hours. Oh, that took a while. Right, we're moving on. Question number 4 in this round. Is it question number 4? It is question number 4 in this round. Oh, this is a good one. How are you on your sports? To the nearest whole second, what is the sum of the 100, 200, 400 and 800 meter men's athletic world records? Answer between 30 and 300. It's a very nice question requiring a bit of sort of guesstimation knowledge across quite a few little bits here. Even if you don't know it, it's still a decent guess to get you some points here. Let's find out. Where did you answer? So we've got guesses as low as 45 from Topper, as well as Inca as well. And we have a guess as high as 476 from Westator. That is out of range, I'm afraid, Westinator, so that's not going to be accepted as an answer. So the highest within range is Race to the Prize with 244 seconds. Let's find out. What is the correct answer? You see, you could do it like that, Samster, where you're doing an average per 100 meters and summing all the meters up here. The total we're looking for is 173. Score count closest there on 175, getting 984 points. Mac the Ref and Jogging Chum were very close with 170 from the looks of things as well, getting 977 points. I can tell you that the breakdown for this is 9.58 seconds for the 100 meters, 19.19 seconds for the 200, 43.03 seconds for the 400, and 100.91 seconds for the 800 meters. So you add all that together, you get 172.71. Round that to the nearest integer is 173. Yeah, you got to be careful about that, Westernator, because now we're only accepting integer answers here anyway. And for those over in Europe that use a full stop as a 1000 separator, I remove them to make it easier on my processing so that I can process the number still as a whole integer without any of the separator symbols. So yeah, do be careful about that. 173 was the nearest whole integer answer we're looking for there. Very well played to score count getting the closest. And there are all the points. Topper and Inca were the furthest away, scoring 0 on that one. Final question in ranged relativity before we start changing the rules up for round number 3. Let's see, what's the final question? How long in minutes is the top rated film in the IMDb The Shawshank Redemption? Answer between 90 and 150. So quite a narrow range here. Let's see what you did with this. Okay, Brand New Halo is going with the shortest answer here with 97 minutes, so just a little over an hour and a half. Quite a few sort of hovering around the 2 hour barrier. 2 hour, 10 minute, that kind of thing. And then the highest guess we got is DJ with the 150, just going for the straight up 2.5 hours. Well, let's find out. What's the correct answer? $142 minutes. Westernator getting it on the nose there. Samster was the second closest, as well as Jack Wilford and Silent Marine, and now cut that out on the other side as well. DJ going for the upper limit on the range, actually scoring themselves 822 points in the process. Brand New Halo was the furthest away with their guess of 97 minutes and scored 0 for that guess. It's definitely over 2 hours. Well, if you know that, then it is a lot easier for you to make the guess, but you have to know that fact in order to make a better educated guess to score more points. And at the end of round number 2, let's see where you are. Ooh. Well, everybody's off the mark now, which is good. That's what we like to see. Currently on the top, we have is O'Hay with 6,875, followed by Looping One with 6,305, and then Ali Law 6,066. So there's about 800 points currently separating the top 3 there. I mean, Riff Raccoon is very close to Ali Law, still within a shout as well, and Spokes as well. 5,890. There's a lot of people still within a shout. The top 7 are about 1,000 points in it. So still plenty of chance to get through here. Score counts on the bubble here in 6th place. As I mentioned earlier, at the end of the following round, so round number 3, at the end of round number 3, if you're in the top 6, then you'll advance through to the final. So that is where you're looking for at the moment. Score counts currently sitting on that bubble position. 6th and above at the end of the next round will get you through to the final of Special Relativity. Choke time, says Score Count. Oh no, we would not ever wish that on you at all. Right, let's go on to round number 3, which is Social Relativity. So you're going to be answering the same way again and give me an integer answer to the question. However, once you have answered, we will then divide you into 3 groups. those that answered in the lower tritile, those that answered in the middle tritile, and those that answered in the higher or upper tritile. We then reveal what the correct answer is, and whoever is in the tritile that contains the answer will then score points. And it's a big one, 1,500 points up for grabs on each correct answer here. 500 just for being in the correct selected range, and then up to 1,500 if you're the closest to the correct answer within that range. If you are not in the correct tritile, or tritile, however you pronounce it, then you are scoring 0. So you have to consider what your fellow competitors may also be answering here to better select your answer. That said, if you can get it on the nose, then you're guaranteed to get 1,500. But these questions are supposed to be hard. You're not supposed to be able to get them right on the nose. Anyway, let's go on to question number 1. As of today, May 28th, 2021, where is the FIFA men's football rankings in San Marino? Where is FIFA men's football rankings in San Marino? There's a number. Is it? It's between 100 and 250. Words are hard. As of today, May 28, 2021, where are the FIFA men's football rankings is San Marino? It does make sense. It does make sense. Where in the FIFA men's football rankings is San Marino? I just didn't read the question right. I'm just an idiot. But it does make sense. Number game show, put number. Indeed. It all makes sense if I read the question correctly. As of today, May the 28th, 2021, where in the FIFA men's football rankings is San Marino? Does all make sense when you say it right. Anyway, I hope you all made sense of that before I butchered it. Where did you answer? Ooh, very interesting. Clive and Legend going with the lowest value, 100. Masters going for the highest value, 250. So they're going to secure their place in the lower and upper thirds, respectively. Now let's actually divide you up. Let's see where you are. Okay, so quite a wide blue section, quite a wide red section, quite a small green section there. We actually have Colo and Super Patrick on the bubble between both green and red. So for you two, if the answer is either in the green or red areas, then you're going to be scoring some points because you are in that, on the edge between both of those answers. Well, let's find out. The correct answer we're looking for is... Oh, yeah. We are in the red section. 210 is the answer we're looking for. Brand new Halo and Samster. Absolutely on the nose, getting 1,500 points each. And all those down to the Masters, all in the red zone there, getting themselves some points. Everybody else, unfortunately, you are not in the correct third. And you have not scored any points for that guess. Oh, yes, 210th is their current rankings according to this. Do I have any further information other than that? Yes, they are the lowest ranked team, with the second worst team being Anguilla in the CONCACAF region, the CONCACAF region. So yeah, San Marino is lowest ranked, and then second worst is Anguilla. So there you go, 210 out of 210. Let's put that away. The CONCACAF, indeed. The CONCACAF, whatever it is. Anyway, stuff. I would like it decaf, please. Yeah, or CONCACAF. So that's the first of this round. Now you know how it all works. Let's reveal the next question. What is question number 2? In total, how many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren did Queen Victoria have? Answer between 3 and 400. In total, how many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren did Queen Victoria have? What a wonderful question again. Thank you, Alex, for this. Let's see what you played. Ooh. Lowest guess we've got is Shapes with 15. Highest guess we've got is Connor with 348. Seems to be 3 have gone for exactly 100. 3 have gone for 120. We then have a 220, 230, 250, 255. Couple on 256. Someone on 257. Some very interesting guesses up here, must be said. Let's divide you up. So a big red section there. Red all the way from Kenda up to Connor. No one's on the edge of any sections here, so you're either in or you're out. Let's find out. How many children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren did Queen Victoria have? $138. Westernator was the closest, only off by 2, getting themselves 1,451. In fact, Bimman Aaron was also equally closest the other way, also scoring 1,451 for that guess. And MPL Dart, next closest, 1,402. I can tell you that the breakdown is 9 children, 42 grandchildren, and 87 great-grandchildren. That is the breakdown for you there, for your information. 9, 42, and 87 to bring you a total of 138. So the green section scores there, getting you some points. Everyone else, unfortunately, did not score anything on that guess. That's more points than I've scored in the entire rest of the game. That's exactly how this game works, MPL Dart. And hey, you can still potentially get into the top 6 if you can do well relatively versus everybody else. Still all to play for. Another 3 questions before we hit the final leaderboard before going to the final. And question number 3 for your consideration is the following. Running a sole race in 1957 through the hills of Italy, Pescara, the longest Formula 1 circuit in history is how long in meters? Answer between 10,000 and 100,000. Pescara is the longest Formula 1 circuit in history. How long is it in meters? Anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000. I mean, you could apologise to me, DJ, but it might have accepted your answer as 696969, in which case it will be outside of the range. Let's find out. Where did everybody answer? Oh, we got some below the range. Kart Quiz, Samster, and Topper. You answered less than 10,000. So they're going to be disregarded. And DJ, you did accept your 696969. That is outside the range to the other side. So the highest that's in range is Clive, literally on the bubble with 100,000. Lowest within range is Big Man Aaron with 12,000 meters. Let's divide you up. Big ass red section once again. Kart Quiz Woke Quiz up to Maxio is blue. Westernator up to Jack Wilfred is green. Mr. Quiz Worthing up to Clive is red. You can't read apparently. I hope it did say it correctly. Yeah, 10,000 to 100,000. It did say correctly. Let's find out. What is the correct answer? So close to going to the blue section, it must be said, but in the green it does indeed score. Westernator closest of all, literally on the money, 1,500 it would seem. Otogi then 1293 and Benj J 1270. And that is why this game is so amazing, because of results like that. So close to going into the blue section and yet so far away. Westernator was just 1 meter off. That is an impressive guess. Wow. That is an impressive guess. 25,578 meters long is what we're looking for. 25 kilometers. Yes. Back in the days when it did those really long circuits in the... I'm trying to remember when this was. Yeah, well, this was in the 50s. And then they kind of standardized it a bit more and went for shorter circuits. Very well played, Westernator, scoring yourselves the maximum, essentially. And what have we got? 2 more in this round? Yeah, 2 more in this round before we hit the final. I think I'm miscounting earlier. That one was question number 3. We now have question number 4 coming up, and then question number 5. So yeah, 2 more in this round before we actually go to the final. I've just now realised. So, good luck. Question number 4 is the following. As the crow flies, how many miles is the distance between the airport runways of Dakar, the capital of Senegal, and Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh? Answer between 1,000 and 15,000 in miles. As the crow flies, how many miles is the distance between the airport runways of Dakar, the capital of Senegal, and Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh? And that's one I have to get the pronunciation right to differentiate between Dakar and Dhaka. Let's see where you played. Okay, lowest guess was Kenda with 1,670. Highest guess was Maxio, 12,500. Seems to be a few hovering around the 10,000, or not wanting to go as high as 10,000. Samson Roof Raccoon possibly playing a little bit of a game there, not going with 10,000 for a specific reason and trying to undercut others. Let's see where the divisions are. The divisions are Kenda up to AB Me for the Blues, Mean PG up to Race for the Prize for the Greens, and Jogging Chum up to Maxio for the Reds. But what if the crow isn't going to these places? Well, I'm afraid tough luck. Let's find out. As the crow flies, how many files is it? How many files? How many miles is it? Wow, I'm just saying things wrong tonight. How many miles is it? I mean, we could go with how many files, but that'll be a very different answer. How many miles is it? 6,890 is what we're looking for. The green section takes it once again. And BC 2014, the closest, getting themselves 1,488. Itoki second closest, 1,468. And DJ third closest, 1,454. Those in the green zone scoring some points. And yes, the 69-69 did work out in your favour this time round, Diamond Ninja. Scoring yourself some points. So one final question in this round to score some points on before we decide our final 6 to go through to the decider. So, consider the following. Make it a good one. This is your last chance to score some points. Alex's home city of Derby, the 24th largest city in the UK, has what population as given in the census of 2011? That's between 50,000 and 300,000. So we're not using the modern census yet, we're using the previous one, 2011. But Alex's home city of Derby has what population? Calm down, score. Hashtag opinions. Right, let's see where you played. Ooh, we do have some clusters. Let's find out. What clusters have we got here? We've got 120 to 130 seems to be a cluster. 160 to 170 is a cluster. And there's a few sporadic answers at the top there. Sparrow Castle is just securing themselves in the highest range. Hope to score something. And Clive, three, Clive. I mean, are you trying to make a declaration that you think Derby is just a 3-person town? It's just Alex and I, plus one other apparently. Maybe Clive is visiting. That is out of range, I'm afraid, Clive. And also Riff 10,001 is also out of range, possibly missing another 0. That will not be accepted as an answer. It is too low. The lowest within range is Mr. Game Show's 74,850. It's a protest answer. I think it is a protest answer, and that's why I respected it and read it out. Let's divide you up. Another small green area again. 125, 124 from score up to Masters 170 is the green zone. Below that we've got Clive up to AB Me, although Clive won't be accepted, neither will Riff. And then Jogging Chum up to Sparrow Castle make up the red zone. What's the correct answer? The Reds take it. 248,752. The Reds take their. Matt the ref getting the closest, 1452 added to their total. Then it's Claire 1387 and then Shapes 1329 added to their total there. And Topper finally getting some points in this round, scoring 1,165 there. Unfortunately, Masters all the way down to Clive there, not scoring anything on that final question. Has that made any difference to the final standings? Let's find out. Let's do a flyby. Let's find out who our final 6 are going to be. In reverse order. We've got Ben Shay and Effrontery. Then Ain't Minky and Cetra. MPL Dark Mr. Game Show. Clive Silent Marine. Cut Quiz Wet Quiz Connor. Then Hawthorne Bunny Dogfish. ABB Super Pat. Now Cut That Out then Tuna Tin. Shadowmane then Colo. Answer the brand new Halo. Mean PG then Ninja. Arnifex then Jack. Poker Joker then Topper. Jogging Chum then Diamond. Maxio Mr. Quiz Worthing. DJ Inca. Big Man Aaron Masters. Riff Raccoon Claire. Riswin Kenda. Score Count Race. Samster BC. Matt the Ref Shapes. Spokes Itogi. Sparrow Castle, Lupine, Ali Law, Westernator, and top of all is Oh Hey 12. So our final 6 in reverse order are Itogi, Sparrow Castle, Lupine 1, Ali Law, Westernator, and Oh Hey. Score count managing to get up to 13th there at the end, so didn't really fluff it too much, but there were some heavy scorers there for the rest. Yes, Itogi, Sparrowcastle, Lupine, Ali, Westernator, and Oh Hey, you have qualified for the final. Congratulations. Commiserations to everybody else, but I hope you had fun up to that point. We will be playing another game of this shortly, so do sit tight. But you'll want to watch this final, though. This final that we call Special Relativity. So this is where it all matters. Question will appear on screen and in chat. Again, the answer will be an integer. When the timer starts, give your answer to QuizBot 3000 as a valid integer number. And in each question, whoever is furthest away will be eliminated. And we will knock you down one by one on each question until only one remains at the end of the game. So, we're starting with 6 players. 6 will become 5 at the end of this question. You need to give me an answer within the time, otherwise you'll be given a basically a null answer and will essentially be eliminated. And in the case of any tie breaks, then whoever locked in later will be eliminated. Whoever locked in earlier will be kept in the game. So, good luck. Get those fingers on those numbers ready for some epic guesstimations. Your first question in Special Relativity for our final 6 is... How many films were released in cinemas in the United States and Canada in the year of 2020? No range. Guess now. That's one thing in this round, is there is no range to work from. You're giving me anonymous guesses. I'm just hoping that you are the closest to the answer. Do I have an answer from everyone? I hope so. I'm only accepting answers from those that are still in the final 6, by the way. I do appreciate some people trying to answer alongside, but I'm only accepting those from our final 6. Let's find out. Let's go in order that you answered in. The first one that came through was Sparrow with 3,000. Second answer was Ali with a magnitude less, 333. So you currently set the lower and upper range on our bar in a moment, but you might get trumped out of the way. Third answer that came in was Itogi with just 15. So Ali, you're now safe. Fourth answer was Lupine with 359. You're within the range, so you're safe. Fifth answer was Westernator with 740 within range. You're safe. And the last answer that came in was Oh Hey 383. You are also safe. So, this is our deciding range. If the answer is less than 1508, Itogi is safe. If the answer is more than 1508, Sparrow Castle is safe. How many films were released in cinemas in the US and Canada in the year of 2020? The answer is... 329. Lupine and Ali Law getting some damn good guesses there, it must be said, with 359 and 333 respectively. 329 was the correct answer, and Itogi, your 15 guess has kept you in the game. Unfortunately, Sparrow Castle, you were just too far off there, one magnitude out, and I'm afraid that's the end of the game for you. Hard luck. Westernator was 740. Ali Law and Lupine were guesses in the... Oh, and Oh Hey, sorry, Oh Hey also, 383, did miss that one as well. That was also another good guess in the right range as well. So yeah, 3 in the sort of right ballpark there. So 5 players still standing. 5 will now become 4 at the end of this. Good luck with your guesses on this one. Question number 2 in Special Relativity is... If you completed a perfect game of the original 1980 arcade game of Pac-Man, what score would you have? Answer now. Lupine's already getting a guess in, so is Oh Hey, so is Ali, so is Itogi, and Westernator is in as well. All answers have already been accepted. We're just going to play the timeout for tension. Now this is going to be interesting to see what happens in a moment. Oh no, I think there might be a problem coming up in a moment. Let's find out. Anyway, first answer that came through was Lupine with 3,333,360. It's a very specific number there, Ralph. Second answer that came through is Oh Hey with 3,333,360. Now, Ralph, because you answered earlier, means you are safe. We've not got a range yet, but we know that Ralph is safe because they answered earlier and they answered the same. So that's where speed matters. I'm glad I put this edge case in because I forgot this could happen. Third answer that came in was Ali with 500,000, and now we finally set the range. Fourth answer that came in was Itogi with 399,999 and sets the lower range. Ali, you are now safe. And the last one that came in was Westernator with 3,300,000. You are within range. It's very interesting that 2 players had exactly the same answer, and Westernator had an answer very similar to that. Let's have a look at the dividing line. So if it is below 1,866,680, Itogi is safe. If it is above 1,866,680, then Oh Hey is safe. The tension music has finished because we were talking about all that madness going on with similar answers. Correct answer is... absolutely on the money with that guess. Ralph and Oh Hey, 3,333,360. The speed record for a perfect game was set by David Race in 2020 at a time of 3 hours, 33 minutes, 1.4 seconds. Absolutely amazing knowledge there, Ralph and Oh Hey, keeping yourself in the game there. Itogi, unfortunately, you're just too far off. I mean, what can you do when you're going up against a guess that is exactly on the money? There's nothing you can do, unfortunately, in that case, apart from answer quicker with exactly the same answer. So, Oh Hey, that perfect knowledge has kept you in the game. And Itogi, we have to say goodbye. You really can't complain with perfect knowledge like that. 4 players still standing. 4 will become 3 at the end of this question. Your next question is the following. If someone won the British version of the $64,000 questions jackpot on its final episode in 1993, how much would they have won in US dollars based on the exchange rate at the time? Answer now. Ralph is in. Ali is in. O'Hay is in. One more to give me an answer, and Westernator is in as well. This is going to be a very, very interesting question to resolve, I feel. So, first to give me an answer was Lupine with 10,000. Second answer that came in was Ali with 77,000. You currently set the range. Still 2 more players to reveal. Third answer was O'Hay with 103,000. So, Ali, you're safe. O'Hay, you take the upper range. And the last answer was Westernator with 8,078. Takes the low range. Lupine, you are now within range. You are safe. So, it is between 8,078 and 103,000. That dividing line is at 55,539. Below that, Westernator is safe. Above that, O'Hay is safe. I could tell you for free that the exchange rate of pounds to US dollars at the time was $1.49.93 to the pound. That said, depends on what the top prize of the game was of the $64,000 question in Britain, because it wouldn't be $64,000, would it? You right? The answer is 9,596. The reason being the top prize was £6,400 at the time. So £6,400 multiplied by basically $1.5 to the pound gets you to basically 10,000. That would have been my internal guess. Ralph had exactly the same idea. Westernator went with a prediction slightly lower than that, but has kept them in game there with 8,078. You are still in the game. And O'Hay, unfortunately, you were just a bit too far off, thinking that the top prize was going to be £64,000 converted to dollars. Unfortunately, not the case at the time, I'm afraid. But it's just that kind of knowledge that that will keep you in the game. Thank you very much for playing, though, O'Hay, and I hope you had fun. Westernator, you motor on. 3 players still in. 3 become 2. And we have a bit more UK con, it must be said, and a bit more UK knowledge here. Penultimate question of the game to make it to the final here. Good luck. The question is, according to the Google Maps tracker tool at 7:55 PM BST, if you were to drive from Land's End to John O'Groats, how many minutes would it take following the fastest route? Do we have all answers? We do now. All answers are in. Now, the original question was assuming no traffic. However, Google's routes, you can't really sort that out because there's road closures and dynamic crashes going on. And it takes all of that into account, regardless of if you try and switch on or off the traffic adjustment. It always includes that in the calculation, hence why I had to just say at 7:55 PM according to my Google search at the time. So you have to bear that in mind. Assuming whatever speed limit it says on the road according to Google. So, what did we answer? Ali Law believes 599, so 10 hours? Lupine says 1089. Like 11 hours, something like 9 hours or something. And the third answer that came in was Westernator with 7,650. That's 127 hours. That's quite a long time. Could be right though. Depends on if Google decided to balk or not. Let's find out. There's the dividing line at 4,125. Below that, Ali is safe. Above that, Westernator is safe. Maybe he's got the Flintstones car. Who knows? The correct answer we're looking for is... 875 minutes. A little over 14 and a half hours in total at that time was the answer we were looking for there. Ali Law, that guess has kept you in the game, and unfortunately, Westernator, you were an entire magnitude out there, so I'm afraid you are out of the game. Maybe if you're doing a full journey across the states, maybe that could be 127 hours, I don't know, but from top to bottom of the UK, or bottom to top of the UK, not quite the same, I'm afraid. So, good guess, but unfortunately not good enough. And Ali, you move on to the final question versus Ralph. So, it all comes down to this final guesstimation. Whoever gets closest here will win. And whoever does not takes second place. Good luck, final two. Your final question is... Guinness World Records states that the word with the most individual meanings in the Oxford English Dictionary is the word set. How many individual meanings does set have? Ralph is already in. And Ali is in. Well, we're going to play the timer out. And we got a subscription. Welcome to space then, Mai. Hello there. Thank you for the 7-month resub. And, yay, getting out of the further mechanics exam, finally sorting all that out. Hope you're doing well. Right, well, let's find out. What did our final two players guess? Ralph thinks 68. Ali thinks 29. And that is our range. So, below 49, Ali is our winner. Above 49, Ralph is our winner. Guinness World Records states that the word with the most individual meanings in the Oxford English Dictionary is the word set. How many individual meanings does set have? The correct answer is... 430 individual definitions or meanings for the word set. Yes, there are that many, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. On the Guinness World Record website also does cover it as well. The word commands the longest entry in the dictionary at 60,000 words just for the entry in the dictionary for the word set. So there you go. Now you know. Ralph, you're an entire magnitude out, but you were the higher guess, so that does mean, Ralph, you are the closest to the right answer, and does mean that, relatively speaking, you're the winner! And it's just like that. Even if you've not got a hope in hell of a guess, Getting just close enough, and that's all that needed to be there. It was just slightly higher than Ali's guess there, and that was enough to take the win. Oh, hello. We've got a raid here from... Oh, a new name. Frizz Frizzle. Hello there, raiders. How are we doing, Frizz Frizzle? What have you been doing out there in this wonderful world of Twitch? I hope you're doing well. What is all this about? Hello there, raiders. Do introduce yourself. Do say hello. I have no, yeah. Thank you for the 100-bit silent marine. Sounder is a legitimate word. Is it? Ah, drunk countdown. Wonderful. Gotta love some countdown. Oh. That's it. It is a lot of months. Thank you for the 6-month resub there, Super Pat. That's a great support as well. And also got Matt the Ref gifting a sub to Frizz Frizzle there. Hello there, Frizz Frizzle. Yes, Drunk Countdown is always a load of fun, especially with good friends as well. Well, welcome one and all. And according to David, apparently you're responsible for the hieroglyphs on Only Connect. Well, thank you very much for the Eye of Horus and the 2 reeds and the Twisted Flax, et al., water, lion, things like that. I do appreciate all of those symbols. I mean, I like the Greek symbols to start with as well, but I guess maybe they were a bit too pretentious and we had to go with the hieroglyphs in the end. Yes, welcome one and all. We've just finished our first game of my own invention called Relativity, and we're about to start the second game, in fact, written by David Bodicum. So if you're interested, do stick around to have fun with that. And I think the drink might help you because it's all about guesstimations. So even if you don't really know the answer, I think a good guesstimation answer will help you out here. So let me get David's second game up here. Where is it? It is called DJ. Of course it is. DJB. Deja vu. No, DJB. There it is. And more than 100 viewers. Yeah. Welcome one and all. And yeah, I need to do some drunk countdown at some point in the future. So I'm going to give you a follow back for. Thank you very much for that raid, Frizz Frizzle, and all the people following along. And I will definitely check you out at some point in the future. And you know what? Let's do the thing where I also share the link back to you as well, because it's all more than welcome. Ben just calls it countdown. I mean, he's just generally on the wine anyway. But that's Ben. Right, let's get the second game underway, and we've got to go for an intro. We've got to do the intro again, haven't we? Thank you, Hawthorne Bunny, for that follow. I'm glad you enjoyed the that game of Relativity enough to warrant that follow from you. That is amazing support. Thank you very much for that. Frizz is awesome. Does rad music too? Does he? Ooh, rad music. They have to be in contact talking about music for new things. Who knows? But yes, rad music, always good. I do love music. Anyway, intro time for this wonderful game. Here it comes. It's Relativity! Welcome back again to Relativity in Space! Yes, it is the quiz show based in space, because why the hell not? Space is great. So if you want to play this game, if you're interested out there, then you need to enter in a room code. And it's very simple. AGOW is apparently the room code we're going for this evening. AGOW. You can enter it into public chat like a load of other people are currently doing right there. And then once you have done so and you're entered into the game, everything else you will be doing, you'll need to whisper your answers to the bot that is called QuizBot3000. If you don't know how to do that, use the exclamation mark whisper, that command. It tells you how to get a whisper window open. Thank you, Deuce, for doing that. If you're not familiar with how to do that yet, then that's how you get there, how you get a whisper window open. It is a bit harder to answer on mobile because mobile version of Twitch is a bit kind of crap. But if you're on desktop, it's a lot easier if you can do that. Yeah. Another game. Oh wow, there's a good room code version there. AGOW. Yes, do enter in if you'd like to play. Plenty of opportunities for everyone out there. And yeah, it's just all guesstimation, so you don't even have to know the exact right answer. Although for Ralph and Ohei in that previous game, it certainly did help knowing that factoid about Pac-Man. What was it? 333 Was that the number again? I think it was something like that. But yeah, knowing that number certainly did help in that particular regard. 333 There we go. Even Lingo's got it down to a T. Let me open up the pack. As I say, this one is by David Bodicum, a wonderful friend. Hooray, indeed, for Relativity. Thank you very much for the 4-month sub there, Chris M. Dixon. That is amazing support, as always, as well. Let's open up the pack. I do have the alternate pack. Yes, I do have the alternate pack. Although I did not correct the time, which I can quickly do in editor. Yes, there we go. I've now configured it up. Are you in, Jogging Chum? That is a question. If you see your name up there somewhere, then you are in. If you can't see your name up there, then you're not in. I do see your name. You're currently here. You're a nice pinky magenta-y shit there, just by the G. Jogging Chum, you are in there. There you are. One more minute and then we'll get this game underway and we will set our sights for some hyperdrive action. Meow indeed, Whiskers. I'm going to get myself some Pepsi because why the hell not? You'll be there soon, will you, Saigo Dave? Well, welcome. And welcome to all of the wonderful viewers out there. 104 currently listed there. It is absolutely amazing to see so many people out here enjoying this. Set tasers to fun, indeed. What have I got happening this weekend? I have got a little brass rehearsal on Sunday to sort out. Ben's going to be doing his thing on Saturday. What else is going on? What else is happening on Sunday? It's not Cash Trap this time. Let's go on break from now. I'm trying to think of other things going on. There's stuff going on. I also need to talk about Duel for All at one point as well, because I need to release details of the document that describes the tournament in detail. And of course, yes, David, thank you for reminding me, David. David's going to be doing a watch along on my Discord of the 3rd episode of Quizless. So if you're interested in watching along that particular show that David helped out, he basically spearheaded the question writing escapade there on that particular quiz. And there's quite a few people around the community as well that also helped out on that, including Quizzy Dan and Royal Flush as well. They also were on the question writing / proofing teams for that game. And yeah, if you're interested in that, then yeah, go and join the Discord. We'll be doing that watch along shortly after I finish my stream. Hopefully we can finish this game up before about 10:30. I think that's about when we're going to get it going. We're going to set our pibble to pibble, are we? Subly jubbly, is that what we're doing? Or we're going for dental dexterity? Right, I think we're all ready to go. I did say a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago, that we'll be closing 1 minute. And Theory is going to be doing a watch along of the Cube US. Ooh, Cube US, indeed. I need definitely want to try and watch along that. When is that on Saturday? Let me have a look on my own schedule because it tells me that, doesn't it? Cube USA watch along is at 11 p.m. tomorrow. So 11 p.m. BST. Obviously convert that for your own local time. But 11 p.m. BST is the Cube USA watch along over in my stream. So stuff like that is happening as well. Thank you for the follow there. All things quiz, all the small things, or all the great things, all the big things, all the everythings. Thank you for that follow. After NBA might not be exactly that time. Okay, so might get pushed back depending on if there's overtime or such. Okay, but around that time, 11 p.m. British time onwards, will be on. There's all sorts of other stuff. There's Apes Cozy Quiz as well. Always good fun if you're around that time late in the sort of UK evening, night, or sort of late night US. Apes Cozy Quiz is a load of fun just to have a bit of a sit down, laid back pub style quiz. And then yeah, Knockout City is all happening around the community as well because that's the thing. Hello again, Whiskers. Hello. Oh, you have to cancel the quiz again. Oh, okay. That's a shame, mate. But hey, you got things to do. Then do the things. Of course, Quarter Stream trivia break is happening 8 p.m. EST, 1 a.m. BST tomorrow. Just all the things. There's all the wonderful things for all the wonderful community people. Is Dad doing his thing on Sunday as well? You can't be serious. Is Dad doing that on Sunday? I'm trying to remember now. Unless he's having a break, I don't know. But You Can't Be Serious is also a great show to watch if he's on as well. Another good friend, City of Stad. Let's get a quick cat check. Meow. There we go. Was a bit ago. Fair enough. It's on break. Fair enough. But still, City of Stad, great friend as well. Definitely go and give them a follow if you can. Right. Thank you, Whiskers. No, there's no treats there. There's no treats there. Okay? No treats there. Sorry. I need to get the treats. Sorry. I do need to get the treats. Right. We need to launch here. So, T minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. It's relativity, folks. There we go. It's round number 1, which is general relativity. In this round, it is pretty simple. You will see a statement to which there will be some numeric value. You have to determine if that answer is correct. If you think it is, you say equal. If you think the value should be lower, you would need to say lower. And if you think the value should be higher, then you say higher. There are some other alternative answers you can give me. So H, if you just want the shorthand for higher. L for the shorthand for lower. G, shorthand for greater. L for lower, E for equal, H for higher. And you can also use the less than symbol, greater than symbol, and the equal symbol. It tells you all the things in public chat. But what you'll need to do is give me your answer in Whisper to QuizBot3000. To do that, you can either go /W space QuizBot3000 space and then some sort of response. And then it should give you a little pop-out box. Or you can also click on QuizBot3000's name if he's in chat somewhere, and give him an answer that way instead. All right, I think we're all ready to go. Just simple, lower, equal, or higher in this round. Correct answers will score you 500 points in each case. You'll have about 10 seconds of thinking time on each question or each statement in this round. Good luck. First one. Let's say this pack is courtesy of David Bodicum. Thank you very much, David, for this pack. First question, first statement in this round is the following. On average, the Earth orbits around the Sun at 66,620 miles per hour. Should that value be lower, equal, or higher? So there are all your possibilities. You can't do it as a reply to QuizBot. You need to do it as a whisper. So you need to do /W QuizBot3000 and then try H. Although, interestingly, it didn't delete it, which means potentially you're not in the game. Did you put in the room code earlier? If not, then I'm afraid you're not going to be able to play the game. In either case, I'm going to move on and see where everybody answered. They are in the game. Okay, so we just didn't accept it from that reply system. So yeah, don't do a reply. Instead, you should be able to just click on their name, and then there should be an option. It's a big box that just says whisper. If you click that, and it should give you a whisper window. Very even split here, must be said. 25 think lower, 17 believe equal, 19 believe higher. Correct answer we're looking for is... it is equal. 66,620 miles per hour was the correct statement. 17 players, that's about 27.87% of our playing audience getting the right answer there, and they're getting themselves 500 points for the correct guess. Yes, and the factoid here, even if you're sat still on Earth, then you are still moving at that speed throughout space. So we are currently experiencing a motion of 66,620 miles per hour, plus, of course, a little bit extra because you're rotating as well on top of that. So, at the very least, 66,620 miles per hour of sort of linear movement on top of rotational movement. So, yeah, we're going quite fast. And then, of course, depends on where you are on the surface of the things, because at the poles you don't really rotate, so you don't get any extra addition. Anyway, we're moving on. Question number 2. Statement number 2 is as follows. 421 athletes took part in the first modern Summer Olympic Games in 1896. Lower, equal, or higher? And we're looking at the number of athletes here, not the year. 421 athletes. Absolutely, Kenda. Everything is relative in this game. But let's see what you answered. Wow. That is a strong answer set there for lower. 81.97% think the answer should be lower than 421. Just 2 believe that is correct, and 9 believe there should be more than 421. Well, I can tell you the correct answer we're looking for is 241. So rearrange the digits. 241 was the correct answer we're looking for. 82% of our playing base getting it right, getting themselves 500 points in the process. Oh, a lot of flying going on there. Come on then. There we go. All the flying has happened. JSU players just said, yeah, it had to be less than 300, so getting themselves a little in there. Yeah, 241 from 14 teams took part in 43 events at the Athens Games, for your information. Move on to question number 3. Statement number 3 is as follows. Of the first 5 US presidents, 3 died on the 4th of July. Lower, equal, or higher? Okay, let's see where you answered. Okay, 8 believe that more than 3 US presidents of the first 5. So considering that the range of values here we're looking at is actually anywhere between 0 and 5. But apparently 8 believe more than 3 of the first 5 died on the 4th of July. 21 believe less than 3 of the first 5 died on the 4th. And 28, so nearly half of our playing base, believe that exactly 3 of the first 5 died on the 4th of July. Absolutely, the of the 5 is a very interesting qualifier because it gives you a range of values, even though we've not defined an explicit range. I guess it technically is an explicit range now that you say it. But anyway, correct answer we're looking for is... it is equal. 3 died on the 4th of July. 3 of the first 5 US presidents. And they were John Adams, the second, as in the second president, Thomas Jefferson, the third president, and James Monroe, the 5th president. They all died on that day of the year, on the 4th of July. That is quite incredible. So, 28 giving me the right answer, getting themselves 500 points in the process. Jack Wilford's got both US presidency questions wrong tonight. You're going to have to rectify that, Jack. You're going to have to do a bit more research. Just sort of study up in future. Fireworks at funerals. That probably makes sense. Certainly for 4th of July, fireworks certainly make sense. Halfway through the round, 3 more statements to consider before we have a first look at the leaderboard. Statement number 4 is... the original version of Greece's national anthem had 78 stanzas or verses. Lower, equal, or higher? Unfortunately, it depends on who's writing the questions, Jack. I suppose in future you can maybe ask for someone to write a pack entirely on the US presidents, but I think a lot of people will not like that. Let's see where you all answered. Ooh. 44. Nearly 3/4 of our playing audience think there are more than 78 stanzas in the original version. 13 believe fewer than 78, and 3 believe it is exactly 78. Well, it was written in 1823, called Hymn to Liberty by Dionysios Solomos, and the number of stanzas it originally had was 158. It's a hell of a lot there. 158 stanzas was the total we're looking for, and it's usually cut down to just the 2 these days. but originally had 158 in there. So the 44 giving me that answer there, getting themselves 500 points. And we move on to statement number 5, which is as follows. The average speaking voice of a woman has a frequency of 130 hertz. Lower, equal, or higher? Oh, Connor and Squawkout just getting an answer in time there, in the 2-second leeway. Let's see where you answered. Yeah, pretty evenly split actually. 14 believe exactly 130. 22 believe higher than 130. 24 believe lower than 130. Well, the standard tuning tone, so sort of standard tuning A these days is 440 hertz. If that's anything to go off of. I don't know if it does help you in any way or not. But like, I think this music is in A minor, so it would be tuned to 440 in a way. I think this is 220 hertz, roughly speaking, and this is 110 hertz, I'm thinking. So the answer we're looking for, really, it's higher. 210 hertz is the average speaking voice of a woman, and a man generally speaks at around 110 hertz. And women speak somewhere in the 160 to 260 hertz range, so averages to 210. So those gave me higher as an answer, 22 players, getting themselves 500 points. I think that was in A minor, wasn't it? It sounded like it to me. I'm hoping my perfect pitch has not completely rumbled me there. And I think I sung somewhat in tune to it. Right, last chance in this round to score some simple 500 points before we go into the guesstimations. Yay, people confirming it sounds like A minor. Yay! Right. Question number 6 in this round. No, tuning's definitely 440. I can confirm that. 44 is less than the frequency of standard AC mains in both Europe and the US, or Japan, both frequencies, because they have 50 and 60 hertz. So yeah, that would be lower frequency than that, and yeah, it's quite low. it's a deep bass note, certainly. Anyway, statement number 6 to consider is the following. At 7:55 p.m. BST today, 1 ounce of gold was worth $6,135. Lower, equal, or higher? Non-equal temperament. Non-equal temperament, gang. Or maybe you want to do 7 tet, or 13 tet, or 22 tet. Get all the microtonality out there. Where's Jacob Collier when you need him? Right, let's see what you played. Okay, only 7 believe higher than $6,135. 13 believe it is $6,135. And 39, so it's about 2/3 of our playing base, think less than $6,135. Presuming, of course, the dollars here is US. And the answer we're looking for 1 ounce of gold. Maybe you didn't read the ounce word in there, but we are looking just for 1 ounce of gold. And the answer is significantly less. $1,908 is what we're looking for there, as checked at that time. 39 giving me the right answer there, getting themselves 500 points. And at the end of that round, let's see where that places you on the leaderboard. MPL Dart and DJ, they have gotten 6 out of 6 in that round, currently on 3,000. Then we've got Milk, Egg, Quizzy Dan, Tuna Tin, Inca, Claire, 5 out of 6 on 2,500. And then Big Man Aaron, Dogfish, Kenda, Jogging Chum, loads in names, in fact. I'm not going to call them out because there's too many, getting 4 out of 6. Then very good performance there. All Things Quiz yet to get off the mark, but there's still plenty of opportunity to catch up here, because the next round, each question can score you up to 1,000 points. So definitely playing catch up here in round number 2. Round number 2 is ranged relativity. So now we're going to be asking you to give me a numeric answer to each question. You're going to be making a guess to the statement or question given, and your score will be calculated based on how close you are versus everybody else. So the closer you are to the correct answer, the more points you'll get. The further away you are from the correct answer, the fewer points you'll get. You can score up to 1,000 if you are absolutely on the money. And if you're the furthest away from the correct answer in each given question, then you will score nothing. Bear in mind that in chat, it will tell you the range of accepted values for each question. So do bear that in mind, because if you give me an answer outside of that range, then it will be discarded and will not be considered for marking, for judging whatever score you get. So do bear in mind that that is a thing. And also count your zeros, because your zeros do matter. You can use 1,000 separators if that helps you out in your answers. It will hopefully account for that correctly. Bear in mind that all the answers you need to give me will be whole number values, integers, so don't bother giving me any decimal places or anything like that, because they will not be counted correctly. They'll be counted as if they are whole number values. So bear that in mind. Good luck. First question in ranged relativity is as follows. In 1900, how many days did it take Johann Hurlinger to walk from Paris to Vienna on his hands? Answer between 0 and 100. You have a bit more thinking time on this. You've got 15 seconds once I start the timer. 5 seconds left. And that is time. Let's see where you answered on this scale. Ooh. Okay, so we got an answer as low as 13 from Clive of Legend. We have got an answer as high as 245 from Shadowmane. Unfortunately, Shadowmane, that is going to be out of range, so will not be accepted as a valid answer. Oh, you got an internet blip. Fair enough, Shadow. Well, hopefully you should be in on this next question, barring any other internet blips. There's not really much to say about any particular groups, because there just seems to be a lot of sort of integer separation going on here. So let's find out what's the correct answer. How many days did it take Johann Hurlinger to walk, quote, from Paris to Vienna on his hands? The answer is 55 days. Tuna Tin and Random Zombie getting exactly on the nose. Mr. Game Show, Doggy Chub, Cetra, Westernator, and Egg were pretty close as well. So Tuna Tin, Random Zombie getting the maximum 1,000 points for that guess. Yes, Johann Hurlinger walked in the handstand position for 10 hours a day for a total of 55 days for that feat. 55, the answer we're looking for. So Sparrow Castle, unfortunately, you were the furthest away within the range, so you scored 0 for that, and Shadowmane, you were out of range, as mentioned earlier, but hopefully you should be able to answer within range this time round. So that is how this round works. If you're not familiar, now you can see how the scoring works. You get better scores the closer you are versus everybody else. If you're the closest, you can score the maximum, essentially, and if you're the furthest away, you will score the least, as in 0. Question number 2 is as follows. When Noah Webster published his first American dictionary, how many headwords began with X? Somewhere between 0 and 200 is the answer. Half your time gone. 5 seconds. Ha 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 ha, Quizzy Dan. I've no idea, but you can get buzz for that. Right, let's see where you all played. Okay, so Clive and Egg think there were no words. Just no X words at all. They just skipped that entry entirely. Quizzy Dan and Tuna Tin think there are 6. And then we're going all the way up as high as 167 from BC 2014. Some interesting low answers. There's some clumps around 20 to 30 area, and quite a few 69s out there as well. Well, I can tell you before we reveal that the OED currently records about 120 X words in modern usage and 400 in history overall. However, in the 1928 edition of Webster's Dictionary, there were just 13. Race the prize, getting absolutely on the money. Mr. Quizworthy 1 off, then it's Lingo, then Ape were next closest. Just 13 head words completed in Webster's first American dictionary of 1828. Race the prize, absolutely spot on that guess, getting the maximum of 1,000. Then Mr. Quizworthy 994, then Lingo 974. BC, unfortunately, you were the furthest away, unfortunately scoring 0, but still plenty of opportunity to catch up. Excellent, says Topper without the E, indeed. And Xylophone, says Quizzy Dan. I need to play the xylophone music now, I don't have that to hand. Okay, we go to question number 3, and it is as follows. This first draft had only one X word in it. Did it really, David? Do you happen to know what that X word was? Just out of curiosity before I press the button. It's very interesting you would have that factoid of just one. I don't know what the only word would have been. I mean, xylophone, I don't know. It was a 3-masted vessel, something like ZX. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, stop trying to do the updog joke, Jack. Especially if you're going to put an X in front of it. Well, there you go. Shebec. Zebek? Like Quebec, but with an X. Anyway, we're going to ask your doctor if Xenex is right for you. Or Zebek. Ask your doctor if Zebek is right for you. Moving on to question number 3, which is as follows. In feet, how far did the winner fly in the 1989 International Chicken Flying Contest? Answer between 0 and 1,000. Well, things you learn. This contest is a thing. Right, let's see where you answered. Oh, quite a wide range of answers here. Got as low as 14 from Mr. Game Show and as high as 7,294 from Egg. That's out of range, I'm afraid, so we're not going to accept that. Highest within range was 888 from SM MIDI. And there's BC 2014 with 843 next closest on the high end there. Well, I could tell you that the hen in question here is Judy to set the record in 1989. And she flew so far that she couldn't be found afterwards and was never seen again. The answer we're looking for is... $542. Who judged Judy? Damn, that's a good one, DJ. I love that one. I do appreciate that joke. Drunkle Squeaky getting closest there, as well as Westernator getting 985 points each. TJ 962 and Saigai Dave 958 points there. Fortunately, Mr. Game Show furthest away, so scoring no points. And Egg, you were out of range, scoring nothing for that. You meant to say 729 and would have been a bit further out as well, but still would have scored some points with that. So there you go. A hen called Judy set the record, and she flew so far, she couldn't be found afterwards. So, I mean, how can you judge that it really was that distance? Anyway, moving on. Which flew first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. Don't know. Moving on. Question number 4. I can't be bothered to talk about philosophy like that. Question number 4 is as follows. I'm about to find out, am I? According to the Vatican, Benedict XVI was the first pope born in what is now Germany for how many years? That's between 0 and 1,000. According to the Vatican, Benedict XVI was the first pope born in what is now Germany for how many years? Yes, whispers please if you can. That is why I enable the auto-delete functionality of the bot while the question is live, just to avoid any sort of spoilers. And also, before I reveal the answer as well, do avoid spoilers, please, in chat, even if you think you know the answer. Let's see where you answered. We've got an answer as low as 40 from Shapes and as high as 989 from Looping 1. There's a 666 answer from Colo, which I kind of appreciate. There's quite a few 500 as well. K-Prada, Tunitin, Sparrowcastle and Lingo going for a 500 guess. There's a few 400 guesses as well. SM Midi, Dogfish, Arden Fets and Drew Dave Tom going for that clump of 400. Well, I can reveal the correct answer we're looking for is... Oh, there's an 800 gang as well. Sorry, I missed the 800 gang. And maybe I should have paid more attention because the answer we're looking for is 947. So 800 gang doing pretty well on the points there, it must be said. Getting themselves 838 points in the process. So the previous one to Benedict XVI in what is now Germany, was Victor II, ending his papacy in July of 1057. And then it was Benedict XVI starting his papacy in April of 2005. So 947 years, the gap there. Looping getting the best guess, getting 954 points, nearly the actual answer itself. Miss Grisworthing and Effrontery second best, 885, and MPL Dart 872 points for their guesses. Okay, one more question in this round before we see the leaderboard again. At the end of round number 3, so one more round after this, we'll need to look to our top 6 to determine who will go through to the final. So you're scoring to try and get into the top 6 places here. Question number 5 in range relativity is: Canada's output of maple syrup during 2020 would completely fill how many Olympic swimming pools? That's between 0 and 1,000. These wonderful conversion questions. Like, how many football fields? How many swimming pools? You always see it on those TV shows when they're trying to describe something that's enormous. They go, it's this many football fields long. Like, ugh, okay, fine, I suppose. Let's see what he went for. That said, not many would go for the number of gallons, I suppose you would say, in an Olympic swimming pool, or sort of the volume of a swimming pool here, which is the unit we're dividing by here. Clive has just gone for 1. Maxio and Egg have gone quite low with 10 and 11. We're going up as high as 999 from Hawthorne Bunny. Do we have any clumps? Yes, we've got Dogfish, Inca, JSG, NPL Darts, and Drew Dave Tom in the 500 camp. Quizzy Dan is just one off there, going 501. And Western Ace has actually won the other side with 499. Well, an Olympic swimming pool, I can tell you, 660,000 gallons in total. But it all depends on how much Canada produced in terms of maple syrup. The answer is... I say just 21, but it's still a lot. 21 Olympic swimming pools to total up to 14.29 million gallons, according to the 2020 figures, which is what we're looking for there. So, Psy Guy Dave, the closest there, getting 996. Then Egg on 990, and Maxio getting 989 points there for their totals. Hawthorne, unfortunately, just the wrong side there, and getting themselves 0 for that answer. But yeah, 21 was the answer looking for there for Canada's output of maple syrup during 2020 in terms of Olympic swimming pools, because we all know that that is a common measure. So at the end of round number 2, let's see where you are. Fortunately, All Things Quiz still yet to get off the mark. Possibly not answering anymore. Currently in the lead is Tuna Tin, 6,469. Then it's DJ in second, 6,409. NPL Data is third with 6,388. Then Quizzy Dan's fourth, 6,137. Sector is in 5th, 6,024, and Jogging Chum currently sitting on that 6th place threshold on 6,007. He's been called away. Fair enough. Okay, that makes sense then. It's still amazing though to have 62 players playing this game at the moment. That is impressive. Thank you for all the wonderful support in playing here. So those top 6 there, you're trying to keep those top 6 places, because we're looking for the top 6 to advance through to the final at the end of the next round. And we're increasing the points once again. 1,500 is up for grabs on each question in this round. And it's a social. Or maybe not, I suppose. But it is social relativity. So you're answering the same as you would do in round number 2, except once we have revealed where you have played, we will then divide you into thirds or triciles. You'll be in a lower, middle, and higher grouping. You'll only score points if you're in the group that has the answer within it. So do bear that in mind. If you are in the correct range, you will score 500 points at a minimum, but you could score up to 1,500 points if you were the closest within that range. So that does mean on each question, generally speaking, 2/3 of the players will be scoring 0 on each question. So might be quite swingy, but it's all to play for in this round. Question number 1 in social relativity is as follows. In which year AD did the population of India reach 200 million? Answer between 1000 and 2000. In what year AD did the population of India reach 200 million? It's somewhere in that range. All right, let's see what you played. Ooh, lots of high guesses here. JSG plays 1047, Sparrow Castle 1200, really way out of the area for everybody else. That does mean it's going to start skewing these ranges in a bit. Lots of very close guesses, it must be said. 1850s, 1900s, 1940s. 1800s is another guess as well. Big clumps here. It's going to be very interesting to see where the dividing lines are here. So let's split you up into your thirds. There you all are. So we do indeed have some edge cases. So K Prather, Lingo, Big Ben Aaron, and Theory of Game with a guess of 1800 puts you on an edge between the blue and green sections. Chris M. Dixon, Inca, and Toadboy with your guess of 1900, that puts you on the edge between the green and red sections. So whatever group you are in, if that contains the correct answer, then you'll be scoring points. And if you are on the edge, then you are basically accepted on both sides of that range. So for K Prather, etc., if it's in blue or green, they'll be scoring. And for Chris M. Dixon et al., they'll be scoring if it's in green or red. So 1800 is the dividing line for the blue to green section, and 1900 to the green to red section. Wow. This is going to be interesting. The answer we're looking for is... it's basically slap bang in the middle of the green section. 1855 is the answer we're looking for there. Shapes absolutely on the money, getting 1,500 points. And then everybody else that was in the green zone there definitely scoring some points, a minimum of 500. Dogfish, Random Zombie Substance doing really well there. Matt the Ref also doing pretty well as well. So, if you're in that green zone, well done. You scored yourself some points. If you're in the blue or red, commiserations. Did not score anything for that guess. What was the information on that one? It is predicted to peak at 1.7 billion population in India in 2060 and then will fall back, possibly due to an overpopulation, sort of stretching the economy, the ecology, I suppose, also of the country. So yeah, predicted to peak at 1.7 billion as a population in 2060. That is quite a large number of people. Right. We move on to question number 2, and this could be another swinging kind of question. I don't know where you're going to guess here. question number 2. That's also true, I suppose, David. Yeah, I'm not really into world geography and ecology and things like that. Question number 2 in social relativity is: in 2005, a 1.5 kilometer long millipede was built using how many Lego pieces? Answer between 0 and 10 million. That and the forthcoming cabbage uprising. I'm not familiar with that, Quizzy Dan. You're going to have to give further information. 1.5 kilometer long millipede built using how many Lego pieces? What's your number of zeros here is what I would say. Let's find out where your guesses are. Oh, there's some clumping going on this time round. So, Amy G is the lowest accepted guess there, 25,689. Sparrow Castle, I did say you got to watch out on the number of digits there. You're sort of 2 magnitudes out. 499,999,999 cannot be accepted, I'm afraid. That will not count. Adster is the highest within range on 8,755,431. Right, let's see where the groups lie. Okay, so Amy G up to 8. Minky make up the blue zone up to 2,000,008. Milk and SM Midi make up the green zone up to 6 million. And then Charlemagne up to Adster make up the red zone. So, what's the correct answer? How many pieces were used for that 1.5 kilometer long millipede? The Greens have it, 2,901,760. Those that gave me a guess of 3 million, just a guess of 3 million, were the closest. In fact, of all, Diamond Ninja Theory Game and Random Zombie each scoring 1,468 points for their guesses. This is the longest Lego structure ever and was built at a shopping centre in Turin, for your further information there. 2,901,760 pieces in total. Very well played to the Greens, scoring some points there. 3 more questions to go through until we get to the final. The third question is: Greenland makes up what percentage of the Kingdom of Denmark? Answer between 0 and 100. It's a percentage. Greenland makes up what percentage of the Kingdom of Denmark? Yeah, by area, yes. Yeah, by area is what we're looking for. Let's see what you answered. So we've got an answer as low as 1 from Matt the Ref and answers as high as 98 from Clive and Ralph. Oh, people thinking it was going for population. I suppose we did not clarify in the question. I suppose maybe not, but we'll have to go with it. Yeah, it was area we were looking for there. Let's see whether the divisions lie. Okay, so Matt the Ref up to Amy G make it the blue zone. Itogi up to Milk, Silent Marine and Grunkle Squeaky make it the green zone, except Milk, Silent and Grunkle are actually on the edge of both green and red, and they also make up the red zone up to Looping One up to 98. So that does mean you have got the benefit of a double range there with your guess of 80. So yeah, we are looking for the area here rather than population. I can tell you that in terms of population, it's 1%, according to this figure here. But in terms of area, it's completely the reverse. 98 was the answer we're looking for. Clive and Lupine 1 Ralph getting exactly on the nose, getting 1,500 points apiece. Yeah, it's one of those weird things where the area is divides as 2,166,086 square kilometers for Greenland compared to just 42,926 of Denmark. And then the other way around, Greenland only has 1% of the Kingdom of Denmark's population. So yeah, it's one of those strange things. And very well played for getting your answer there of 98. Clive and Ralph, get yourself maximum points for that guess. Ooh, okay, we move on. Next question, which is the penultimate question of this, of this round. Penultimate question of this round coming up. So bear that in mind. You need to score highly if you are trying to get up to that top 6 position. Fourth question in this round is: how many individual letters are in the 100 numbers 1, 2, 3, ... 99, 100 inclusive? So all of them from 1 up to 100 inclusive. Answer between 0 and 2000. How many individual letters are in the 100 numbers from 1 up to 100 inclusive? Spelt like that. And David did provide me with the worksheet to do all the maths, because I imagine David didn't really want to do it by hand. Let's see where you answered. I mean, I could have said 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100 there, but he didn't say that. So Westerdator went with 17. Arnavets 111, Quincy 151. Going all the way up to Shapes, you're out of range. Risk Win, you're also out of range with those guesses. And Amy G went with 1,813 for your guess. That is the highest accepted answer. Let's have a look at where you played. Alright, so all the way up to 900 makes up the blue zone. SM Midi Inca, Chris M. Dixon, Jack Wilford and Tunitin, you are on the edge of both blue and green. So you make up the lower end of the green up to 1212 with Riff Raccoon. That's the upper end of the green zone. And then the red zone starts with 1234 with Loopy 1 and Effrontery all the way up to the 2000, which includes Amy G. So, what is the correct answer we're looking for here? Just pipping into the blue zone there. 865 was the answer we're looking for there. It does say in the 100 numbers, 1, 2, 3, up to 99, 100 inclusive. Claire getting pretty much bang on the money there. 1498. Then AB Me and 8 Minky getting 1471 and Toad Boy 1460 for their guesses. The blue zone take the points there. Very well played, Blue Gang. Unfortunate there to the green and red gangs. One final question now to determine your final positionings. You need to be in the top 6, like I say, to move on to the final. Last chance for points. Good luck. Fifth question is: regardless of job title, how many people are listed in the credits of the film Marvel's The Avengers? Answer between 0 and 10,000. Five seconds. Now for this one, Ape, David doesn't have a spreadsheet because there is someone else that's done all the work for him. This is according to StephenFollows.com. Let's see where you answered. We have answers as low as 357 from Topper One Gaming and answers as high as basically 10,000 from Clive of Legend. They're just eking their way into the red zone. Maybe it'll help them out. Maybe it won't. Let's find out. So let's divide you up. It's a big red zone, it must be said. Red zone going from 4,100 up to Clive there. The green zone's from 2,500 up to 4,000, and the blue zone 357 up to 2,479. Has Clive played a clever game here? Do they think that they're going to be over 4,050 to make it a score? Let's find out. Correct answer is... Ooh, just sliding into the green zone there. 2,718 is what we're looking for that particular question. Westernator getting the best answer there, 1498 added to their score. Then Mr. Game Show with 1473 and Diamond Ninja 1470 for your guesses. Very well played there. Yes, Marvel's Avengers has 2,718 listed cast members, regardless of job title. And yeah, there is a reference here. So, that is the end of the main game. So let's go in reverse order to find out who our top 6 are. At the back, we've got All Things Quiz, then Arkadar, then we've got Sparrow Castle TJ, then Itogi and Score, then Arden Fetz and Shadowmane, then Drew Dave Tom Karka's Work Quiz, then Carlo, then Adster, then Riswin and Sportsy, Deuce, then Amy G, Silent Marine, then Connor, Kenda, then GSG, Bench J, then Hawthorne, then Maxio, then Saigai, Poker Joker, then BC, Grunkle Sweeky, then Clive, Demon Aaron, then Shapes, Topper1, then K Prather, Lingo Maniac, then Matt, now cut it out Claire, Theory of Game Effrontery, Riff Raccoon, Chris M. Dixon, Egg, then Mai, AB Me, Westernator, then Dogfish, Milk, Random Zombie, Jogging Chum, then Tuna Tin, Mr. Game Show, Mr. Quiz Worthing, Toad Boy, then we've got Cetra, Diamond Ninja, 8 Minkies, SM Midi, Race the Prize DJ, NPL Dart, Quizzy Dan, Jack Wilfred, Inca, and the Lupine One. So our top 6 are DJ, NPL Dart, Quizzy Dan, Jack Wilfred, Inca, and the Lupine One. Very good game there, Ralph. 9,486 in total there. Let's see how close it got there to that position 6. It was a couple of 100 points in it between DJ and Race for the prize there. Alas, Race the prize did not quite get into prize territory. Just so close to getting there, though. But I hope you had all fun with that game. Thank you for all our players there from 7th down. We have to say goodbye to our top 6, though. Congratulations. You are through to our final. Oh, it's a tense final as always, and that final is Special Relativity. So this is where it all matters. This time you're going to see a question. There will not be a range to give you a guide. You just have to give me an answer blind. And on each question, the one that answered the furthest away will be eliminated. And in terms of tie-breaking, the one that answered later will be eliminated. So always consider that answering quicker will help you in some regard. It certainly helped with Ralph versus Oh Hey on the Pac-Man question because they gave exactly the same answer, but Ralph answered earlier, so was spared elimination. Not that it mattered because that was exactly the correct answer anyway. So 6 players currently in. 6 will become 5 at the end of this question. Good luck, final 6. Your question is... In feet, how long is a lap around the outside of the US Department of Defense Pentagon building? Answer now. Dan is in, DJ's in, Ralph is in, NPL Dart is in. 2 more players to lock in. Jack and Inca are in. All players are in. Here we go. So now we're going to reveal you in order that you answered. First answer that came in was Quizzy Down with 35,000. Second answer was DJ with 1,024. So you currently set the range, but we still have to reveal 4 more answers. Third answer was Lupine with 1,385. You're within range, so you're safe. Fourth answer is MPL Dart with 1750. You're within range, so you're safe. Fifth answer was Jack with 2000. You're also in range, you're safe. And the last answer was Inca with 35,000 went exactly the same, which means Quizzy Dan is safe due to answering earlier. Frickin' hell. So that does mean, Inca, you set the upper limit despite having exactly the same answer. I just want to confirm that is the case. Yeah, that is the case. So, that is our dividing line. Below 18,012, DJ, you are safe. Above 18,012, Inca, you are safe. For survival, the correct answer is... going to the purple side. It's just 4,605. Each of its 5 sides are 921 feet long. So you just do the math on that, multiply that by 5, gives you 4,605. So Quizzy Dan was saved by speed alone, otherwise would have been eliminated. Wow. Unfortunately, Inca, you were the slower to answer there, and you have to say goodbye on that guess because you were too far away. DJ, your answer of 1034 was actually pretty good, so it keeps you in play. And Quizzy nearly answered 35,001 as well. Oh my god, that is crazy. Well, now you know how to play the game, Quizzy Dan, because that was just a little bit too close for comfort there, I think. You were saved just by time alone there. 5 players now become 4 at the end of this question. Remaining players, fingers on those numbers. Your question is... According to Guinness, what is the longest on-screen kiss in a commercial feature film in seconds? Answer now. 3 players in. DJ's also in, 4 more, and that's in, and everybody is in. We're going to play the timer out just for tension. All right. Let's reveal all. First answer was from MPL Darts with 126 seconds, so a little over 2 minutes. Second answer was Quizzy Dan with 399. That's over 6 minutes, I think. That's quite a long time, like 6.5 minutes or something. Third answer was Lupine with 366. Just turned upside down the other 2 digits. Ralph, you're safe. You're within range. Fourth answer was DJ, 132, just 6 seconds more than MPL Dart. It keeps you in range, keeps you in the game. And the last answer from Jack Wilfred was 95. MPL Dart, you're now within range, you're safe. Jack takes the lower end of the range. So this time, Quizzy Dan, you are setting one of the range limits. You are setting the higher range of 399. Jack Wilfred, you set the low range of 95. So the midpoint is 247. Below that, Jack, you are safe. Above that, Quizzy Dan, you are safe. For survival, the correct answer is... You are only 5 off, Quizzy Dan. 404 seconds was the correct answer we were looking for there. You were only 5 seconds off the correct answer. At nearly 7 minutes long, it happens over the credits of the 2005 film of Kids in America. That is the answer we're looking for there. 404 seconds. Quizzy Dan, that guess has kept you in the game. Very good guess indeed. Unfortunately, Jack, you were just too far off, and we have to say goodbye. But thank you for playing. I hope you had fun. You take fifth place indeed. 4 players now standing. 4 become 3. You'd love to say that you're a kissing expert. Well, now you can indeed say that, Quizzy Dan, because you're within, like, what, 2% of the correct answer, something like that? It's something ridiculous like that. Pretty good answer anyway. 4 become 3 on this next question. Good luck, fingers on those numbers. The question is, in chemistry, what is the sum of the atomic weights of the 5 classic halogen elements? Answer now. What is the sum of the atomic weights of the 5 classic halogen elements? Dan and Dart are in. Ralph and DJ are in. All players are locked in. Excuse me. Let's reveal all in the order they came in. So I think it was Dan first. And they went with 399. Second answer was Dart with 600. Third answer is Looping 162. So Dan, you're safe. Ralph takes the lower end. And the last answer that came in was DJ with 105. So Ralph, you're now within range, you're safe. DJ, you take the lower end. And that sets our range from 105 up to 600 with a dividing line at 353. Below that, DJ is safe. Above that, MPL Dart is safe. The answer we're looking for is 199 was the answer we're looking for. The totals being for fluorine 9, chlorine 17, bromine 35, iodine 53, should I say, and astatine 85. Total all those together to get you up to 199. Worth saying also the artificial element of tennessine, TS, might be a halogen, but we're talking about the classic halogen elements here. 199 was the answer. DJ, your answer 105 keeps you in the game. And I'm afraid, MPL Dart, we have to say goodbye. But you take 4th place, which is pretty damn good, must be said. Took the 4th biggest for your average. Fair enough. I guess that makes sense doing that. Okay. We now go to 3 become 2 on this question. And it's a doozy. This is a doozy of a question. Good luck. Penultimate question of the game is: multiply the ages of the 5 contestants who recently competed in Series 11 of Taskmaster UK. Good luck. Count those zeros is probably what I'll say. All players are in. This is a hell of a question. So, let's reveal. The first answer that came in was Lupine with 7,680,000. Second answer is Quizzy Dan with 121,400,000. So 2 magnitudes different. And third answer was DJ with 34 million. DJ, you're safe. You don't have to worry on this one. It's between Ralph at 7.68 million and Quizzy Dan at 121.4 million. So our dividing line is set at 64,540,000. Below that, Ralph is safe. Above that, Quizzy Dan is safe. I can tell you, I believe if I can count correctly, that the answer is within range here. It is somewhere in this range. And the answer we were looking for is is going over to the pink side. 87,241,440. The equation in question here is 44 times 41 times 52 times 30 times 31. Makes it 87,241,440. And your guess, Quizzy Dan, which was like 2 magnitudes different to Ralph's, was enough to keep you in the game. Ralph, unfortunately, that number was just too short. We have to say goodbye, but very well played there, Ralph. Getting up to 3rd place this time round. Quizzy Dan, you advance through to the final question. So, here we are. It becomes a battle between Quizzy Dan and DJ87. Is DJ another Dan? So it's Dan versus Dan in the final. So, we know that Dan's going to win, but which Dan will be the winner? Is it Dan? Or is it Dan? Good luck to the Dans. Your final question to determine the winner is... how many tennis courts would it take to completely cover the Vatican City? Answer now. How many tennis courts would it take to completely cover the Vatican City both players are in? First answer that came in was DJ with 69. And Quizzy Dan went with 13. So they set the range. So that is it. 41 is the dividing line between winning and losing. Below that, Quizzy Dan is a winner. Above that, DJ is a winner. Either way, Dan is going to win. Which Dan will it be? The correct answer is... you were miles off. 1,687 was the answer we're looking for there. Miles off there. DJ only getting it because they are the higher answer of the two. The maths involved is tennis court is 260.87 meters squared. The Vatican City is 440,000 meters squared. Do the division, you get 1,687 as the answer. We're flying in hyperspace here because it was that far off the scale. So, Quizzy Dan, unfortunately, you were just too far off there. Relatively speaking, you were just too far off. You take 2nd place. But DJ87, you are our relative winner this evening. Yeah, I know, Ek. And that is it. Very well played there, DJ, taking the win on that game. Commiserations to Quizzy Dan, just not quite getting there. When I saw the 2 answers in, I was like, oh, okay, we're going to have a bit of a bit of a strange finish here, but hey-ho, it's how it goes, I suppose. All of the Dans. There's still a little tweak I need to do to the final leaderboard thing to make it more obvious who the top 6 are, but I think it's much better with it being slower like that and still revealing the leaderboard screen at the end. And yeah, that is relativity, folks. That's basically relativity. Can't do much more than that, really. I love it. And we have one more pack, but we're not going to play it tonight. We're going to keep that for next time we play this. So thank you, Alex, Oni, and thank you, David, as well, for the 2 packs we've played this evening. They've been absolutely awesome. We will be playing Pop Ramen Comedies pack next time round. And a Dan Wheel. A Dan Wheel, we say. As in, what, winner of that game? Is that what we're going to do? A Dan Wheel? We're not good. If I say Dan Wheel, it means there's going to be loads of Dans. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Riswin. That's greatly appreciated. Let me put on the cam mode there. Like that. There we go. You can see me. What are we going to do? Dan means steps in Japanese, yes. We know at least 7 Dans, apparently. Yes, there are at least 7 Dans being polled here. We're doing a Dan census. And I'm Elliot Dan Panda. Right, what are we going to do wheel spin wise? Well, no, I'm not going to do it for Quizzy Dan because Quizzy Dan just wants their one doot. But DJ87, yeah, why not? We're going to do a wheel spin for DJ87 here on the wheel spin here. So add doots, DJ87. Oh, David Bodicum is jumping in here. I counted correctly. There were 7 Dans. Thank you very much for the 7 Dans making a 10-month resub there, David. Greatly appreciated. Dan, the science guy. So, I'm going to do a wheel spin here for DJ. And you know what? I'm also going to do a wheel spin for Ralph, because Ralph was our winner last time. So, we'll do DJ and Ralph for the 2 winners of the games, because I haven't done Doots yet for Relativity. Next time I do Relativity, I will get Doots integrated directly in, so you get to earn Doots even if you don't make the top 6. We'll do that. Right, let's do a wheel spin. There we go. Meow. I know, Whiskers. So then, DJ, what you got? That was close. That was very close. 50,000 Doots, though, is the prize. That got very close to negative 4K. You got 50,000 Doots, though, for that one. Just a bit close. Just a bit close there, but you got there in the end. 50,000 Doots added to total brings you up to 50,200. And what means that now for your rank currently puts you in 5th place on the leaderboard. That's pretty impressive. And we're going to do Ralph as well. So the looping one, we're going to do a spin for you as well. Is this your first time on the wheel? Well, let's make it a big one. Let's make it a big spin here then. Come on then, Ralph. Here we go. Oh, it went the other side that time. It went the other side. So we'd shave off 4,000. Oh, the wheel giveth and the wheel taketh away. I'm so sorry, Ralph. Oh, it's too stiff. Now you're complaining that it's too stiff. Why don't we have a wheel emote? I mean, because it's hard to make a wheel emote, I guess. Normal wheel for someone else. Oh, Panda's got one apparently. Oh, Silly Puppy's got a wheel spin. Although that says the word rigged, which I don't quite like. Anyway, do we want to do a regular spin? Let's do a regular spin as well, because we didn't have any Doots still doled out this evening, so we'll do a regular spin as well. So, giveaways. Who's going to get the giveaway? Mods, keyword. Keyword will be Dan. Yeah, Dan is the keyword. Dan is the word. Dan is the word. That is keyword Dan. Dan. Dan, 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 Dan. I can't go that low. Everybody's heard Dan's the word. Bird. No, Dan, Dan, Dan. Dan's the word. Dan, 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 Dan. Dan is the word. I'm not going to delay too much more, David. I know you're going to be doing a Quizness watch along in a moment. I'm not going to delay it too much more. Right, let's do a spin. Let's do a spin. Who's going to get this final spin? It's going to be NPL Dart. Hey, that's a good name. NPL Dart is going to get this final spin. So, wonderful. Right, let's see if we can get something not 4K or negative 4K, should I say? What will it be? It's a thing. It's 1,000 Doots. It's positive. We can't complain with 1,000 dupes there. Getting yourself another 1,000 dupes added to that makes it 1,100. Oh, well, and that brings you up to 62nd place on the leaderboard, but there's still plenty of opportunity for ranking position outside of that. Well, it's been a great evening, even though this was sort of last minute, because I decided to play relatively 10 minutes before stream started. What I'm doing next week, I don't know yet. If I can get what I need to done sorted for Duel for All this weekend, because this is a bank holiday weekend, then Wednesday we're going to do a trial run of the software. We're going to do a trial run of the new software to see how it all works and see if it can handle it. So we're going to be doing a Duel 4 test run. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. What I will do after stream is over, and once I've sort of collected my thoughts, I'll also do an announcement that details the current tournament rule book or handbook for Duel for All as well, so you get to see exactly how the tournament's going to work. The rules, indeed, the rules of the game will certainly follow. DJ, gifting out a sub there to Mappy. Thank you very much for gifting that sub out there. You hope Mappy is a Dan. Well, let's hope that Mappy is a Dan. Thank you for gifting that sub out there, DJ. That's amazing support. The dual laws, indeed. Right. I am whispering on. People are going to go and watch Discord stuff in a moment. For those that don't want to do that, though, let's see if there's someone to raid. We've got Westerday to gifting out a sub there to MPL Dart. Oh, Westerday, he didn't need to do that, but thank you for gifting out a sub to MPL Dart. And MPL, welcome to the Bashers. The rules of the game will follow. Hope we have no rule breakers. Black Garnets for those who reach the grand final. Sorry, I'm not sorry. You know, we should just change the chips to garnets. It's an easy conversion. Hang on. You say that. Hang on. It's an easy conversion. Hang on. One moment. I got it. Hang on. I got it here somewhere. Where's the music? Where is it? I've got the music queued up somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. There it is. Hang on. I need to get to the right bit. Hang on. Where's the right bit? Where is it? Here we go. There's the snare roll. There we go. Who are we going to raid? Let's find out. We are going to raid... I don't know, actually. Let us go and raid over to... Glenmore. We're going to raid Glenmore. Let's get that sorted. So let's do that. Do a raid over to Glenmore. And our raid message is going to be Dan. Because of course it's going to be Dan. Our raid message is Dan. So thank you very much for playing. Thanks for enjoying Relativity. I'll be back on Wednesday, hopefully with a dual pilot episode. Until then, I've been Ash the Bash. I'll be around on the Discord and things and stuff over the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, your bank holiday weekend, or whatever you're doing, because I think it's Memorial Day over in the States as well, something along those lines. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Peace out. That's Ben saying. Sorry, I don't want to say that. Catch you later. Have a good evening. Bye!